This is the Tom Bernard podcast. See, I can't say welcome to the Tom Bernard show.
Why can't you?
It's,
We gotta find a tagline.
okay, welcome to the Tom Bernard show with
Catherine Brandt.
Andy Brandt Bernard.
And Kristen Burt.
See, there you go.
How about the best part of waking up is Tom Bernard podcast
In your
Yes,
cup.
Tom Bernard podcast.
in your
There we
computer.
go. No question about it. So, Kristen Burt, I got to open up. I just sat down and watched the national news. This Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, whatever the hell it is blowing up. Scott,
I
what is
know.
wrong with that woman?
People just won't.
I'm going to say a hard pause on all of this because
Oh, really?
you have, I'm going to give a little context to all of this.
Okay.
First of all, Snow White was produced by Mark Platt. Mark Platt also produced Wicked. He owns the property of Wicked, like developed it all the way from workshop to
wow.
Broadway show to movie. Very powerful producer in the industry. He has a couple of Nepo babies, one being Ben Platt, who's a very well-known Broadway star, also has a son, Jonah Platt. In fact, also to add more context, my friend is married to Jonah Platt. I've known her. She's a former contestant on So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh, okay.
But this is their own personal beliefs, then bleeding onto Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler has supported Palestine. That's just been her thing. However, they are a Jewish family who supports Israel. And they're just mad at her for exercising her free speech when, hold on, Jonah, who is the one who criticized her and has caused this whole
Yeah,
kerfuffle
he's
right
really
now,
ripping on her. Yep.
he hosts the Jewish podcast, which his father has funded.
Right.
Conflict
So
of interest.
conflict of interest. It is a personal conflict of interest versus a big issue with a movie. And I think that is all. I think the messages are getting mixed up here with all of that. Like the personal side is coloring what happened at the box office. The box office is not Rachel Zegler's problem. Box office is a Disney problem of live action, of
Yeah.
bringing in CGI dwarves. That's the issue. But unfortunately, a 23-year-old is being blamed for all of this.
But she
She
did
has
say, if I
talent.
have to wear this outfit 18 hours a day, I should get more money for it.
I have not. I haven't seen that particular quote, so
Yeah.
I don't know where that quote is coming from. Does anyone know the source of that quote?
It was out of her mouth. They had her.
Yep.
Um,
They had her live.
Yep.
What did she say?
She said, if
If
I'm
I-
going to have to
yeah.
wear this outfit 18 hours a day, I need to make more money.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
look
look.
at this.
Can we source it?
I got to be honest with you. I don't care if they hired the Virgin Mary to play. I've seen enough of Snow White there anyway. It's like, go away.
I was never that into Snow White.
Was it
I don't
Snow
know.
White? That's who it is. isn't
Yeah,
it?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
I was like, eh.
Enough of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and all the rest of it. Bring back Pluto. I like Pluto.
I just think that, it's a good idea to just not
to shut up.
be a social warrior when, you've got something coming out like this.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
also Palestine and Israel, it's a real terrible topic. I
Okay.
mean,
I found the quote. She said this on the SAG after picket line while we were picketing our contracts. We're going back to 2023. And so the thing is, she said, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours a day in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it's streamed online, which is tied to the contracts and getting actors better wages because the streamers like Netflix, like Disney Plus, are not paying residuals to the actors.
Mhm.
So I think that the context of it all is being pulled out and ripped out of the
Well, it always
time and
is.
place. Of course
It
it is.
always is.
And I think, sure, could she have phrased it better and softened it up of why she was fighting for a better contract as an actor? Absolutely. But she's in her early 20s, so she's not thinking as straight as she were if she were in her 30s. But I will say that pulling it out and blaming that on the failure of Snow White doesn't make any sense.
It is a total bomb, though. My God, that thing's a stiff.
It's not doing
Well,
great.
well,
It's a-
Ugh.
and why isn't Gal Gadot getting the same heat? Because Gal Gadot
Yeah,
has been
yeah.
supporting Israel in all of this very publicly.
Mhm.
hmm
And she's not getting the blame, and she's not getting the blame from the Platts either. So
I got to be honest with you. if I were Jewish or Palestinian, I'd go, who the hell cares who you support in Hollywood, you losers?
That's true. They're Hollywood actors. Does it matter what they
The
think?
hell no. Who cares?
Well, there's a heavy Jewish presence in
Well, there is.
There is.
entertainment.
There is, and people have vested interests. Some people have, family members and friends who live in both of those countries. I get it. But at the same time, this failure of Disney is not on Snow White. It's not on one
No, I
actress.
understand that.
So,
I
yeah.
agree with
And that's
She
why I
doesn't
think
help. She's not helping.
Yeah.
she doesn't help the situation.
No.
But again, Gal Gadot has not helped the situation. And why isn't she getting the same heat?
So is she the stepmother or whatever?
She's the Wicked Queen.
Oh, okay. I see.
I thought I was the Wicked Queen.
The Wicked Queen. So I just think like
Queen
if we
Connie.
pull back the context of all of this, there's so many more layers to this. And the Platt's voice the whole family is going to be heard because they are extremely wealthy and extremely powerful in Hollywood.
I have a question. Are we ever going to get over this? Because this NPR thing that's going on now is really going wild, over the top. 100% of the employees at NPR are Democrats.
No, it was their
Editorial board.
editorial board.
I thought it was all the employees. I was told it was all the employees.
I know that's really, really high, but the editorial board is 100%.
But you can't do that if the people are paying the bills. You got to look at all sides of a story, not just one
Yeah,
side.
shouldn't they be mandated to be 50-50?
Yes.
It's very interesting because NPR is either people are like, it is God, it is the word of God, or people just don't like it. And
Yeah.
it's, to me, they have so much power amongst a certain group of people. They should at least try
So yeah, you're right.
to not. I mean, they were like, "Oh, we didn't think the COVID or no, the Hunter Biden laptop story was newsworthy." They didn't. They just talked about the fact that they could have done a better job with the COVID reporting. They're not doing a good job.
No,
but
it's
people
not.
still believe everything that comes out of their mouths. I mean, to the point of ridiculousness.
I'll tell you another thing about this, Kristen, that it makes me laugh is I have a very dear friend that I've known for years, and she's one of the biggest names on public television in the state of Minnesota. And I think the world of her, but I really can't tell anybody that I think the world of her because it would hurt her image if people found out she and I were friends. That's how far this political bullshit has gone.
Well, I'm a
on both
KPBS employee and my job is at risk. And let me tell
I
you,
know.
it is very, very stressful. That's
Why
all I'll say.
is it though? Why is it at risk? You're a citizen of the United States. You deserve to be on the show.
Your PBS is public.
Public. It's KPBS. KPBS
that's
is
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
same boat right now. Yeah, with NPR. I mean, I'm a pledge host, so I work on the pledge drives and everything else. I don't deliver. I don't deliver any of the political or any of the news on the station. I love working there. I love the people I work with. This particular station is based out of San Diego, and
Right. Yeah.
a lot of hardworking people there, and a lot of people who are very scared about their jobs right now. So.
But I just don't understand why this ever happened on either side.
This has been a long running fight because I even have watched clips of Mr. Rogers when he was alive testifying before Congress about funding for, NPR and PBS. But I will say, just on the PBS side, as someone who was a PBS kid growing up, someone who was served by Electric Company and Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, reading Rainbow. There's a great service there, and for kids whose parents don't have the ability to buy Disney Plus and all of the other subscription services, PBS does serve a purpose.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ethan loves. We have two apps. We have PBS Kids and we have PBS Kids Games.
Yeah.
And he loves those PBS Kids games, and they're all, as far as I'm aware, free.
Yes. Their
And
programming is really good.
Most of them, if not all of them, have some sort of educational aspect to them, so that's good. There's
great
like
performances is amazing. Like
I don't think anybody's against that. I think it's the journalism.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The problem is with all of this is that if the funding goes away, also a lot of these educational programs will struggle. I'm not saying they'll go away, but they will struggle to find private funding because, again, the economy right now is very, very shaky. And
it is. You're absolutely right.
And I worry about that. I worry about my job right now. I don't sleep at night. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Good.
no,
We'll stop
it's
sending your check. Then you're out.
that's all I need right
You're
now.
out of the mix.
No, but like journalism is under attack, even on the entertainment side.
Mhm.
We've had cutbacks
Good.
that have impacted me. KPBS is now, or PBS in general is impacted, and I'm like, it's a little worrisome. I'm like, how
So,
am I going to pay my bills?
so do you think that the solution is just to keep on screaming and yelling and screaming and yelling at each other, or maybe tempering things and being more fair and stopping this madness about I hate, I hate, I hate. That's my whole platform in life. Isn't it just time? Isn't this an old model not working for anybody anymore?
It's not working for anyone.
And
It's not working
maybe
for
it's
anyone. It's not working for CNN or MSNBC or Fox. It's just not working.
and they just won't give it up. This is what I guess it has to be burned to the ground before anybody will learn anything. I
Yeah,
don't understand why,
unfortunately.
but it's just sad.
Yeah.
Well, all the big news juggernauts, they're going to be gone within 5 years, I think, at
Oh
this
God,
point.
yes. Yep.
They have no viewers anymore.
They do not. You know, Christy, you probably don't know this, but my show at KQRS, me becoming a Republican was a bit between Dave Hamilton and me. He said, pretend you're a Republican because it'll really draw a lot of attention, blah, blah, blah. So it went on for months and months and months. And I got treated so badly, I finally went, you know what? Maybe I will be a Republican. And then I didn't really like that either. I'm neither, to tell you the truth. I just don't understand, when are people going to get the fact that we didn't all grow up the same? We are not all the same. We should not all have the same ideals. We've had different lives. Let people live their life, for Christ's sake. Right?
Yeah, I just don't know how this is done with our two-party system, because
Oh,
I just don't know. And for a lot of people, the last administration with Biden wasn't working. It's not working. You know what I mean? Like, there's no shift in tone or anything else like
right.
that.
Right.
Even though they're two different people and doing things, operating a little bit differently, neither one worked. So,
Well, they're both scam artists. They are. Both of them, Biden and Trump, they're both scam artists. There's no question.
Yeah. And I'm seeing what's happening in Hollywood. It's even just like the thing, like, people don't even think about. And I understand a lot of people are like, this is great if like RFK Jr. is able to get pharmaceutical ads off of TV. I get that, because we've all been pitched as Americans, like, take this pill, it'll solve this problem, take that. At the same time, it's going to kill local news. It's going to kill linear networks, because that is their number one advertiser. That trickles down to Hollywood, because that's the big employer of actors when it comes to commercials. So it's just like this whole like trickle down effect. And I go, oh, wow, that's going to have a huge impact if he's successful in doing that. So, of course, I think everybody probably agrees nobody should be pitched pharmaceuticals all the time. I don't really think that's a controversial opinion, but on the economic side of Hollywood, it's going to be a huge hit.
It's interesting because Elon Musk, the most hated man in America, he years ago said that with AI happening and all the stuff that's coming down the road, and it's coming faster than anybody thought that it would, we're going to have a basic income, a universal basic income.
Yeah. Well, makes sense.
And that because there's going to be so many jobs eliminated by AI and everything else, that there just won't be anything
That's true.
left for people to do.
Yeah, we're seeing it right now. I mean, if you're on LinkedIn, people are unemployed 8 months, 1 year. They're not finding jobs quickly. And the thing is, if you're unemployed, you're like, well, I'll go and get maybe a job at Starbucks to carry me through the interim until I find my 9-to-5 job again. They're not hiring. So you can't even get like the basic, like, let me get a part-time job and then I'll look for a job at the same time. That's not happening. And I have so many friends in that situation right now. It's stressful.
Isn't it interesting? Because just 2 years ago, there were help wanted signs absolutely everywhere. And the restaurant industry is still saying that they can't find help.
Right.
There's a lot of jobs out there that people just aren't willing to take anymore.
Restaurants are not, you know what is happening? 4 restaurants on Sunset Boulevard, on the Sunset Strip, have closed in the last 4 weeks. Restaurants in LA, not hiring. And they're saying the combined effect of the pandemic, the strikes, and then the wildfires, people have pulled back on spending. And the first thing to go, especially in a town like Hollywood, is like, let's do lunch. Let's do lunch pulls back. And then that's when the restaurants start to get impacted. They're not hiring here.
Well,
and
we're
maybe we're a sign.
We're out of West Palm Beach, and every year I come down here, there's at least 3 or 4 restaurants that have failed.
Yeah, a
Mhm.
lot of them
Yep.
can't take the off season. They just can't survive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And we oh, go ahead.
we're walking around, like there's this place called Yoke near us, and like last year it was like Yoke coming soon, and now we're down here and it's like Yoke, we're dead.
Oh,
Yep.
like they've come and gone already.
Yeah,
Already, yep.
there's a pizza place that failed.
Mhm.
Oh, remember Tanuki Go, the Japanese place we went last year? That's
Mhm.
gone.
Really?
Yep, that
Yeah.
lasted less than a year.
And I was going to say LA is probably one place where people do seek out a restaurant job and do want to do those jobs because as an actor, it's flexible. You can trade shifts and things like that. They're
Uh,
finding that they can't even get a restaurant job because the restaurants are dead right now.
Yep.
That's interesting because they've just opened, I don't know, four new restaurants this year, and a lot of them are very high end. Have you ever heard of Milos? I think they've got one in LA.
Yeah, they
They've got
do.
one in the Venetian in Vegas. They've got
Mhm.
like this guy that started this restaurant. He's making 100 million off of like 10 restaurants.
Yep.
Well, that's his
Amazing.
revenue.
Yep.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, I wonder what his operating income is.
I know, but
$14.
100 million off of 10 restaurants is a really good ROI.
Let me
Well-
put it this way, Kristen, Bert, and Andy. Catherine and I had dinner there. I do not drink alcohol. Catherine, you had what? One drink?
I had one glass of wine.
One glass of wine. The bill for dinner for two, one glass of wine, was $350.
Oh, fancy.
Melissa
I know.
So-
Melissa
We
and
were
I
like, "What?"
adopted a place today. We've got bacon, egg, sandwiches, or egg and bacon sandwiches.
Bacon, I like that.
We got
Bacon.
some chia seed yogurt, and then Ethan, I think he got some sort of yogurt thing
Yeah,
too.
he had a parfait kind of thing.
Yeah, like a parfait.
Mhm.
Yep.
$60
But that's at
for
a,
egg and bacon sandwiches and yogurt.
but that's at the hotel
It
convenience
is,
Tough
but
store.
road to hoe.
still, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, the AKA brand. Do you know that brand?
hmm
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're not cheap either.
It's really unfortunate. The money is, well, look, I mean, I am getting calls on a daily basis from people that I worked with or competed against or whatever in radio. Radio is almost dead. It's getting,
Yeah.
it's really, really close to being just shut down completely because nobody listens to the radio anymore.
And podcasting market, because people are like, I'll just go into podcasting. That is saturated at this point. Like
Yeah,
if you didn't get
no
started
Yep.
5, 6,
Yeah.
10 years ago, more than that for you,
Yep.
you're in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, it's
No
very
doubt
hard
about
to
it.
start because everybody has a podcast.
That is true. So I don't know. What are we going to do about all this stuff? I mean, we have a lot of things to say, but none of us have any answers, unfortunately. And so we're like everybody else.
Well, this is new territory in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
really is. And like, how do you navigate AI? How do you navigate
Right.
an administration that is trying to bring jobs back to America? But I feel like it's ripping on the Band-Aid really quick without
Yeah.
maybe plotting things out a little bit and doing the slow roll, maybe. Because
Well,
I don't think, do you disagree on like, I don't think anyone disagrees on manufacturing cars here. That's great. But I'm like, it takes a while to build factories, make sure all
Yeah,
the facilities
yeah.
clear. It's time.
But what's the thing is like that's what they've been doing lately is
Oh.
they want to get something done, and instead of doing it methodically and logically, it's like it's the same way with solar and wind power in a lot of places, especially Germany. They demolished tons of their nuclear power plants because they were like, oh, we got to get wind up. So we're just going to get
Yeah.
rid of the old stuff and we're going to put up the new stuff. But we're not going to transition. We're just going to rip it all down and build the new stuff and hope for the best. And that's basically what Trump's doing with manufacturing in America now. It's like we're just going to tear it all down overnight and we're going to rebuild and hope to God that the rebuilding actually works.
Well, that's the other, I mean, that's what happened with, when the Biden administration came in, they deleted everything Trump had gotten accomplished. When Trump comes in, he's deleting everything that Biden got
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
So they figure they've got 4 years to do something and hope
exactly.
that something
Yep.
works. So they have to go nuts.
All right. We have to do Tom's money making part.
Okay.
All right. Kristen Burton Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Take a break. Be right back. More with Kristen Burt right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Pally?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands free, but you can't have your phone in your hand for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
It is time for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Memory Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. Very important. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. I've known the family for 40 years. Good people. That is very important to me. You know that. So if you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is a place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. And again, I don't call people my friends if they're not really my friends. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. Uh-oh, Kristen's rocking out, man. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So Kristen Bird, she stopped rocking out now.
I know. I couldn't see you. I just saw Josh Arnold.
Yes, exactly. Josh Arnold's up there. There's no question about that. So is there anything good going on in the world? I will tell you, though, honestly, the world is as negative as I can ever remember it. Well, I shouldn't say the world. The United States is so negative right now. And I don't know what it's all about. It's really bad.
You know what's doing well? Hallmark in the NFL.
Well, there you go. Good.
Hallmark is?
Hallmark. So last Christmas, Hallmark and NFL teamed up for a rom-com holiday movie that did so well. They filmed in Arrowhead Stadium. So they're going to do it again this coming Christmas season. It's going to be Holiday Touchdown, which was the name of the series last year. It was a Chiefs love story last year. This year, they're going to go to Buffalo. It's going to be a Bills love story.
So they're building up the smaller markets.
The smaller markets, exactly. Yeah. Now, obviously, Kansas City was due to the Taylor Swift / Travis Kelce situation. But they threw out a statistic that I thought was really interesting. And they said the overlap between Hallmark Channel viewers and the NFL is 75%.
Really?
Which makes me think that a lot of husbands are getting dragged to watch Hallmark films. During the holiday season. Yeah, my husband gets all the time because I oftentimes usually September and October, I'm already into the holiday season doing all the interviews. And Bill every night's like, "What are we watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's like a Christmas bookstore. Oh, it's like the Christmas cookie." It's always something.
Love
And
that.
it's September. That by the time December rolls around, I'm like, just give me a horror film. I don't want to watch another Christmas film.
Well, I could see that, but I do love that holiday stuff. I'm a big fan of that. Always have been since I was a little kid. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and I think when you're just looking for something comfort, you know exactly how it's going to end. There's nothing bad happening. There's something sweet about that. But I thought that statistic was pretty high. I would have said maybe 40% that there was an overlap, but
Mhm.
75% is pretty huge.
Well, see, I'm going through a situation right now, have been for the last couple of years, that when Andy and his family are in town, Ethan sits right next to me on the left side, and my left arm has to go around him, and then we can watch TV together. I love that. What a wonderful feeling that is,
That's a
It's
fun
just-
family
It
moment.
is great. Just, then he punches me in the mouth once in a while, which
Yeah.
I'm not wild about, but
Well, he's 3.5.
three and a half
He has
years.
zero self-control.
He sure does.
In fact, he's a linebacker for Christ. He is what, 3'7"?
He's 41 inches tall.
Oh my God, he's going to be taller than me in 5 minutes.
He's 40 pounds already, right?
He's over 40 pounds.
And he
yeah.
has no fat on him, not an
Yeah,
ounce of fat.
he's,
It's all muscle.
Yeah, he's going to be 4 feet tall by the end of the year, I
Yeah.
think.
I don't think I'm going to be able to wrangle him in another
I don't know.
year.
Yeah, I'm already
gonna-
like, I can carry him for maybe 5 minutes before my wrists hurt.
He's just like carrying a boulder.
Mhm.
It is. That is true. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So we've been looking for things to watch. With Andy's family's in town, we're just hanging out, having a good time. Alex's family gets here on Monday, so the whole family's going to be together.
Yeah.
Are there any Catherine goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Whoops.
live action Lilo and Stitch is coming out soon. Couple months.
Live action?
Yep.
Everything's live action.
There's going to be people
Yeah.
in costumes?
Well, it's live action / CGI, but
Oh.
Yeah.
Live
Similar
action just means
to
not
Snow
cartoon.
White.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
I think Lilo and Stitch will do better as a property, though, with live action than Snow White will. I just feel like Snow White, the 1937
Yeah.
film, is a classic, and nobody really wants anyone to touch it. And I think you're
Right.
seeing the result of that.
The thing I really don't agree with that the direction they're going with Lilo and Stitch is, the two aliens, the tall guy and the short guy. Like there's the tall thin alien, and then there's like the short fat alien,
Okay.
and they're like trying to get Stitch. Apparently in the live action movie, they're going to retcon it so that they put on human suits before they come to Earth. So they're just going to be like people,
Oh.
which I don't like that, because like part of the like funniness about the movie was the fact that they were these obvious aliens, but they thought putting on Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses made them fit in. But now it's like they've got these magic human suits and they just look like people. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because we've seen Disney really burn through the Marvel universe, and a lot
We
of people
sure
are
did.
tired of that. I am going to be curious. I still think Lilo and Stitch will do better than Snow White, but
I
I
think
do
it's gonna
wonder
do
if we're
well.
going to. Yeah, I'm just wondering if we'll see a little bit of that fatigue, though, at the box office. It's still going to out earn Snow White, but I wonder if people are going to say, I'll just wait till it's on Disney Plus.
I'm interested to see how the live action Moana is going to do, because Moana is a lot newer. And I think universally, it seems the opinion is it's way too soon.
It does feel way too soon, because we've had Moana, and then we've had Moana 2. Auli'i Cravalho, who played Moana, is now too old to do the live action version. So they've, recast that role, but you still have The Rock, playing his role. So I don't know. It just feels like we could have waited 10 years if we were going to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Moana came out in 2016. The remake's coming out next year.
So
it's
it will be 10 years.
Yeah, that's got to be like the closest distance between a movie and a remake, like ever.
Yeah, when you have Snow White from 1937 to 2025. Yeah, there's
almost
a big
100
difference.
years. It's a little better.
Yeah. Lion King even had a gap, if you think about it, because that was a 90s
That was like
film.
at least 20 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lion King remake, that was 2019. Lion King original was 1994.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking 25 years there.
Maybe you needed to do, because what Disney oftentimes does is they do like the movies and then they move into Broadway and then they go to the live action. And I'm surprised we haven't seen Moana on Broadway.
Or at
Yeah,
least
that's a
on
good point.
ice.
On ice, Disney on ice, that's still a thing, isn't it?
It's still water, right?
I think they do Frozen on ice, and they don't really need to do anything else but Frozen on ice. It sells so well.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. It's,
Kids
it's
in
Frozen.
Frozen. That thing is like crack to kids. Like
It sure is.
if you see a 5-year-old singing, it's like the angstiest song for a 5-year-old. It's
is.
hilarious with Let It Go. It's so cute.
They love it.
Speaking of let it go, Kristen has to be let go. There's no question. The time
Please
has
don't say
Oh,
that.
Just today.
not let go in
just,
that one.
just for
Oh,
now.
you know what?
Don't make me sweat.
I'm glad when you brought that up, that's a different kind of let go, because I just got a message this morning from a guy. He says he has the audio of me from like 8 years ago. The new general manager came to town, and she and I met, and I was talking about meeting her after this, that, and the other thing. And he said, you predicted on the air the next day, after meeting her, I guarantee you I'll be fired within the next 5 years. He said, it actually took 6, but you were right.
Wow.
That it was so political. That place is so political now. It's just, but I predicted I would be fired within 5, because the reason I didn't think I'd be fired earlier is because we made way too much money. It was the highest rated morning show in America. We made tons of money, but they had to change everything. And they did, destroyed the show. And then I got fired, but it took 6 years. So I was wrong. I was off by 1 year.
By 12 months.
I was off by 12 months being fired, but they tanked the income of that place. It went from 40 share to a 0 share.
That's
Pretty
great.
bad.
All right, young lady, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, and just so everyone knows, A Complete Unknown is officially on Hulu today.
Excellent.
And if you love Bosch Legacy, the season premiere of its final season is on Amazon Prime.
I love Bosch Legacy.
Oh, good.
Both of those. A Complete Unknown was terrific.
So good. And so it's streaming on Hulu if you have Hulu, and then Amazon Prime, Bosch Legacy, its final season is starting today.
Excellent. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Michael Bryant will join us right after this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold, Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. And I am a paid endorser.
And the baby looks around him and shares his parapet with a burrow in the palace of the king.
Today's show brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Why don't you try to get comfortable there? My
You
God.
sleeping? Taking
What
a
were you
nap?
sleeping in the chair? Oh, we can't hear you.
He is muted.
You're muted.
No, I was just looking through my phone. That's all.
Oh, you're doing it with your phone?
Yeah. Is Catherine just in the background? Is this driving Miss
Back
Daisy?
here.
Or what?
You can only see your legs. That's it. You can only see your legs because Andy
Wait,
is.
can I?
Oh, that's right, Andy.
I
Yeah.
can't even do it.
Nobody cares.
It's impossible.
Nobody cares. That's really
Oh,
nice.
I just saw something interesting about the Twins.
What?
Target Field has face identity security now.
Wow.
They do?
Yeah,
It's
it's
about
only
time.
one of 9 ballparks in the MLB to have this feature,
That
and
is-
it's going to be available for the home opener next week. A lot of people don't like that
Yeah.
because it gives them. I mean, what does Target do with your image? I mean, could they sell it to somebody? Could somebody hack into it? I mean, it's kind of a security risk, in my opinion. What do you think as a lawyer?
The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Yes.
Ah,
They can,
I'm
they
right
can
about
sell
something.
it. I mean, you're in public. They can sell it. They can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're in public, someone can take your picture and you can't do anything about
Oh,
it.
God.
yeah. I remember many years ago. Tom and I think we went to Europe. I mean, this is like 15 years ago because we haven't been in a really long time. And I remember walking up to the gate and seeing my photo on the screen, and I never said it was okay. I never signed up for that, but it just was a thing. And I don't know if they were rolling it out as an experiment, but I was like, how did they do that without me saying it's okay?
Yeah, because you're in public and they take the photo and they do, and then they have Rush and Paul McCartney bid on it.
Yeah, there you go. Rush and Paul McCartney.
Oh, so they can do crowd scenes or something?
Yeah, something like that. That's what he's
Oh.
mean.
Oh.
I have to ask you a question, and it makes me very, very sad to even ask this question.
Mhm.
But I saw so many people today because today is the first game of the Twins season.
Yep, they're
It
in
is
first
on the
place
road.
for a couple hours.
Yeah, they're in first place right now. They're in St. Louis, so they're not in the Twin Cities. Nobody knows where the Twins games are going to be on television.
Yeah,
They're all asking, where do I go? Because it used to be Channel 9, and then it wasn't Channel 9, and then it was this. And I don't even know where to watch them.
Doesn't FanDuel have them? I thought FanDuel had the Twins.
Do they now? FanDuel
I think
has them.
so.
I don't know. I think the poll ads were fighting about this with some people. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you think about the debt they're in? Did you see that?
It's only
Yes.
almost $500 million. You know.
425 million.
Wow. No, FanDuel says Timberwolves and Wild.
No, they're not on FanDuel then.
Wow.
It's the Twins. My Twins are coming apart at the seams.
Yeah.
I love the Twins.
I always feel like the first 3-4 games of NFL and MLB, it's really hard to find because they want all the money.
Yeah.
And they're figuring they're going to make really big money on the opening games.
Yeah. I mean, opening day is huge. I mean, Red
It
Sox
is
are going
huge.
crazy. The Red Sox, we are so fired up for this season. It's going to be a great year.
Really, because
Mhm.
I didn't think it was going to be a great year.
No, I'm talking about the Red Sox.
Okay.
He's talking about his team.
Your team. Yes, that makes sense because there's a lot of anti-Twins
Yeah, there is.
Well, yeah.
feelings in Minnesota. I know that.
Unfortunately. That's
Yeah, I
true.
don't see the MLB app says it'll be on, so you'll be able to get it down there though, won't you?
Yeah, I have the well, it's like
Oh, it will
$100
be on?
bucks. It's $100 or something, I guess, something like that. I think I already paid it, but I think it was $100 to get it on MLB Network.
Once you pay it once, you pretty much have paid for the rest of your life. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
unless you lose your card, they got it. So
That's true.
yeah. So
I
but it
don't
looks like MLB will have it. So you'll be able to watch that, and it'll be interesting. Cardinals aren't very good either, so that should be okay.
What do you mean the Cardinals aren't any good either? Are you saying my Twins aren't any good? Is that what you're saying?
That's my initial position. So
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Mike. I probably couldn't name more than about 5 Twins anymore. I used to know
Really?
every person
I
on the
can't name
roster.
a single one.
you can too. I mean,
That's
Gray,
right.
Lopez, Buxton.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Buxton.
The guy who's hurt all the time at first base.
Royce Lewis,
Royce. Yeah. Correa. There's 5.
Correa. Yeah.
The most recent one I can name is Molitor. I'm not even kidding.
That's been a while.
When did he retire or whatever?
About 15 years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
He's
Well,
already in the Hall of Fame, so
it's been a while then.
But Mike, I am fired up about. I love the baseball season. I used to go to literally to every single home game when I was a young man.
the
Every
baseball
game.
season.
It was just wonderful. 162 games, 81 home games. You go to the old stadium, the old Met Stadium back in the day, and then of course it moved down to the dump where they won 2 World Series. So it wasn't a dump to me because they won 2 World Series there. I'll tell you that.
Yep,
It was
that
wonderful.
is true.
That new stadium is spectacular, though. I love the new stadium.
Well, hey, Donnell in the chat says if you have T-Mobile, you can watch away games for free on their T-Life app.
Oh, so you watch it on your telephone?
We
I
don't
guess
have
so.
T-Mobile.
But yeah, so I guess if you have T-Mobile, then you're in luck.
Alrighty.
Otherwise, you are not in luck.
I already paid my $100, so I'll get it on MLB the
Mhm.
whole entire year.
There's
Well, at least while you're down there, you won't be able to get it up here because they black out the local games. Up here.
Yeah,
Isn't that insane?
I know.
Oh,
Doesn't make
God.
sense.
Well, I don't know if I like going to the games. I do like that stadium, though.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
It is a great
It is.
stadium.
The championship club walking in the stadium is the greatest.
Yeah.
Just to do that.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
It is indeed. I got to maybe lean on Josh Arnold because he gets sweets all the time. So I might have to put the hit on him to go to games because he loves to sit in the suite and
There's
watch
an X account called Twins Daily, and they're like,
Oh,
yeah,
Yep.
and it they're not going to a game till the Poleds sell.
Oh, God.
I wonder if because they said that the attendance has been pretty bad,
It's been really bad. It has. And
but
it's
they
not-
have to win. They have to win to get attendance, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't look, like I said, I am still a huge Twins fan. I have been since I was 9. It was the first sport I ever followed with the Minnesota Twins in, 1961, I think it was, or 60, something like that.
Wow.
David Anderson, my friend, and his dad took us to a game, and I'll never forget this. We were sitting in left field at the old Met Stadium. I'm 9 years old, and David and I are there with his dad. And I looked out and I said, did I die? This looks like heaven to me. It was just, for a 9-year-old boy from North Minneapolis, who's, lucky if anybody pays their electric bill, to look out at that beautiful scenery with the green grass and the lights overhead. And I was overwhelmed by it. And then, of course, Harmon Killebrew hit a home run in the game, so it was even better. I love the Twins, but man, is it getting tough to watch them.
Yep. Mine is 1972, Senators, Red Sox. Doug Griffin hits one of his 3 home runs in his career, and Sonny Siebert wins the game, and they became my favorite players for the next couple of years.
See, I did support your hometown team for a while when I was a huge Boston Celtics fan. That's because Kevin McHale was a Boston player. And then I met Kevin McHale and stopped being a Boston fan. He's not the most pleasant human being I've ever met. I got to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I did not.
He's got an edge to him. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose, he was one hell of a great basketball player, though. He was a phenomenal player at the University of Minnesota and the Boston Celtics. But yeah, so I am fired up for the game. It's at, what is it, at 4:05 Eastern time?
Probably your time, yeah. Oh.
I think it's like 4:05, something like that. It used to be literally back in the days, we would go down to the Lincoln Dell and buy the place out, buy all the deli food we could possibly get, and turn on the big screen. I had a big screen TV. I will never forget this as long as I live. It was a projection. The first big screens were all projection.
Yeah,
televisions,
they had to be.
right? And one of my brothers, I won't say which one it is, but one of the 3 lights that, because they had to have 3 lights for the color and all the rest of it.
Yep, RGB.
Must have had a little speck on it. And my brother thought the speck was on the screen and tried to rub it out. And there was a mark this big on the screen for the rest of the time. I had to tell. It could not be fixed. It's like, thanks a lot, pal. I really appreciate it. That's really good. Maybe you should ask next time before you rub stuff on my screen. What about that?
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is big for me because I am a massive, massive Twins fan. They've been horrible for so many years now. It is unbelievable. People do not like Rocco. Why?
Oh,
What do you think?
His pitching choices have been real tough on the relievers. He's made some really tough calls there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the substitutions are questionable. I liked Rocco originally. He's from Rhode Island, was in the Red Sox organization.
Right.
But boy, he's worn on me the last couple of years. But I put him behind Finch. And so I'd fire Finch first and then him second.
And then him second. Yeah, I couldn't believe the negative comments about him. How people hate him now.
Yeah, I don't hate him, but I just don't think
I don't either.
He's not as bad as Aaron Boone, but I cheer the Yankees every year they re-sign him.
Oh my God, Aaron Boone. Those were the days.
Did you know that there's a Twins TV?
Twins TV, huh?
They've launched their own streaming service.
They have?
Huh.
Now available for purchase. Yearly and monthly Twins TV subscriptions can be purchased now at Twins TV, while fans who sign up for a yearly package before April 1st also receive 50% off select tickets for all Twins games.
Oh, yeah.
Home games in April and May, including the 2025 opener.
That's twins.tv, $20 a month.
And if you
That's
want
it?
to watch it on television, there is a site called twins.com/watch. And you can enter your zip code to see which providers are available and learn which channel they're on using that page.
Isn't it insane how complicated it is to watch baseball
I
these
know.
days?
You used to turn on Channel 9. Like I said, it was on Channel 9 every night. It was not that difficult.
Well, and they're $425 million in debt. You think why it's making it more difficult to watch the
I
games?
Yeah,
know.
it's clearly not
better.
working for
I
you.
know.
So
Yeah.
maybe it's time to change your tactics.
Games will not be on FanDuel Sports Network.
So I got to pay for down here, and then I got to pay for up there.
Well, we can see if
Well,
it's
worth it.
on
Or you can just stop caring.
cable.
You can, if you buy it, you can use the same login in both places.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Twins.
can?
If you do the
You can
twins.tv
my
thing.
mom too.
Yeah.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
I'll have to get that done today then before. Well, I already have MLB, but that's not going to work in Minnesota, you said.
Of course not.
Well, but you can get MLB there. You can watch
Here.
games.
I already paid for it here. It's like $100 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well worth $100. Who cares? Whatever. It's for 41 games or
More than
whatever.
that, I think it's more than that, but it's not huge. It's not as bad as like
Oh, is it more than that?
Yahoo TV.
I will be watching the Twins game. I became a Twins fan at 9 years old, and I will always be a Twins fan. It's only been, hadn't been that long since they won a World Series. It's only been like 34 years.
91. Yeah. The day before I had my first, I was in court the next Monday.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 1991. They won on Sunday night, and I was in court the next day. My first appearance, first day as a lawyer.
I have to
Sworn in
tell
on
you,
Friday.
one of the reasons the KQ Morning Show blew up as quickly as it did, because before that first season in 1987, I predicted the Twins would win the World Series. And everybody said, "You're nuts. You're out of your mind." I said, "I guarantee you this team's going to win the World Series." And it brought in so many listeners. It was unbelievable because it kept building. They did not have a great season record, enough to get into playoffs, obviously, but they weren't great in the regular season. But once they got to the playoffs, they were just kicking ass. I'll never forget that. But that's a few years ago now.
They won all their home games. That was the key.
Home games, yes.
But me and a group of people woke up at it was 5:30 to listen to you and Dan talk about the World Series win that next morning after they won.
Dan, I miss Dan Culhane. He died a few years ago. Just the nicest guy you'd ever want to know. He was wonderful to work. I still will never understand why they ever got rid of him. He's just very easygoing, just a great guy.
That's why.
I see. He was too nice a guy. They had to get rid of him.
Yep.
But I believe it was Mark Rosen, Dan Culhane, and me, wasn't it?
I think so. And then there were other like Gelfand, was on the show, and I think JB might have been on the show.
JB came
on.
on.
There was maybe, I don't know, somebody else. I can't remember her name, but there was somebody else I think that was around.
And now they've all married communists, so they won't even talk to me anymore. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I just need to verify something.
Okay.
Okay. So Twins TV is on MLB TV.
Oh.
It is?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you've got to get MLB TV, Twins TV.
But is it on in Minneapolis when I'm up there?
There's Ethan.
Yes, probably.
One of
Ethan's
our
knocking on the
listeners-
door
One of our listeners says go to twinsdaily.com and it will tell you where to watch the Twins.
when I get home.
Well,
So-
I put in our Florida zip code, and we're out of the
But
territory.
I think twins.tv should work
Yeah.
when you go up back home.
I'm
I
hyperventilating.
know.
We'll be fine.
We had a question on our text line from Saturday that I'm just now
Oh,
seeing
okay.
because, he says, how do the Wild keep Kaprizov healthy in the future? Who's Kaprizov?
His injury, he's their best player. His injuries aren't, they're not training issues. He's in tremendous shape. I just think it just happens. And it's, unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to, you're not going to put him in a bubble. It just happens. His injuries are just part of the game.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised they haven't invented a sport yet that's like you cover yourself in Nerf and you can like slam into people as hard as you want
There you
and
go.
you still won't get hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, they kind of invented that on television on some of those futuristic TV and movie theater things,
Yep.
I guess. I don't know, but like I said, I am ecstatic that it's opening day. I hope to God, because I'm going to watch the game today. I hope to God the Twins win the first game. Like you said, I think St. Louis and the Twins are pretty evenly matched. Either one are not really probably that good. But my Twins are phenomenal until they let me down, is all I have to say to anyone. I love the Minnesota Twins. And to this day, who was it that stepped up when I got fired at KQRS? It was the Minnesota Twins that stepped up, gave me my own Bernard Twins jersey. There was Tom Bernard Day at the Twins game. They were wonderful to me, and I'll never forget them for that because they've always been my favorite team. I mean, I love the Vikings too. I'm not so big on hockey and basketball, but that's a different
You
deal.
don't have the basketball Jones?
I don't have the basketball Jones. I think Norm is the one guy got me away from hockey because Lou Nanny, I love Lou Nanny, and I used to like to go to the games, but that Norm was what a pain in the ass that guy was. Norm Green, he they're now the Stars, the Dallas Stars.
Oh, wow. That was a long time ago.
That was a long
I saw a tweet last night and it showed the White Sox already eliminated from the playoffs.
Wow.
See, I love that about sports.
That's me.
We got to take a break here. Be right back. But you don't mind talking about sports, do you, Mike?
Never.
I just want to make sure that there's something important you want to talk about. But I do love baseball, man. The season starts today. I'm very fired up about it.
Oh, yeah.
We will be right back in a couple minutes. We've got to run a commercial about some GE. I don't know what it is, but we'll hit it right here and we'll be right back. For Brad John Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong, but suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing. And people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Michael Bryant with us live in. Are you in studio at your own house? Is that where you are? Or are you at your office?
I'm at my office. I'm up in St. Cloud right now.
Well, you're in St. Cloud. Okay.
Oh yeah.
One thing I do have to mention, and you and I have been talking about this a bit. It's come up a few times, but every year when the baseball season started, Catherine's cousin. We didn't know it was Catherine's cousin, but we found out he was indeed Catherine's cousin. Pat Eberts would go out and get a sponsor, Killebrew Root Beer.
Oh, yeah.
And Kent Herbeck would be on the show. And I miss that so much. And I don't know why. I got to find somebody to sponsor that because you got to get Herbeck on to talk about the Twins. But it was funny. We went to break and I felt sad. And I'm like, why are you feeling sad? What is that? Why? What? And I realized it's because Pat Eberts unfortunately died a short time ago, before the last season, as a matter of fact. He died right at Christmas time.
Yeah, like the day before, I think.
Day before,
or
Christmas.
maybe on Christmas. It was,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it was the night. Wasn't it the night of it? I think overnight.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
so
it was.
we found out Thomas liked Killebrew, and we used to always get a case. He used to give me a case of Killebrews every about this time of year. We'd get that case, and Thomas would be very happy.
I got to get somebody out there to get that sold because we have to get Killebrew Root Beer back on here, and we got to get Herbeck back. To have Herbeck on today with us would have been phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I always thought the world of that guy anyway. Herbeck's one of my favorite people in the world. You know how old Kent Herbeck is right now?
Can't be that old because he didn't play that long. He had a very short career.
Andy, look up. How old is Kent Herbeck? Because I think he's going to be older than you think he is.
I think he's 65.
He is 64.
He's 64 years old.
Oh.
Kent Herbeck, I still picture him to be like around 24.
He will be 65 in May.
Remember that clip of him, that gigantic man doing the splits and catching a ball at the same time. It's like, what? How? What?
You know what?
I think he went to Bloomington, one of the Bloomington high schools.
Kennedy. Bloomington Kennedy, yep.
Bloomington Kennedy. And they ended up doing alphabetized at their graduation. So I knew the sister of the guy who sat next to him and had no idea who he was. And they were talking, and it's like, well, I'm going to go to college. What are you going to do? He's like, oh, I signed with the Twins. I'm going to go to Florida. You know?
I will tell you, honest to God, though, another phenomenal memory. And I'm so glad we're talking about that. I love to talk about the Minnesota Twins because they've always been my favorite. But the stadium announcer, one of the great people of all time, and I do remember they first put in the Skyway system in downtown Minneapolis. He was about 2 blocks away, but he saw me because there were windows in the Skyway system. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I hear from this long distance, Bernard! I'm like, oh, God, it's him. But I will never forget the first time Kent Herbeck came up to the plate as a Minnesota Twin at Met Stadium. Now hitting for the Twins, Kent Raybeck. H-R-B-E-K is Raybeck. I will never forget. But see, those are the phenomenal memories and just wonderful thoughts that enter your brain. Thinking about the Minnesota Twins and God, I hope they're better than people. I just looked it up a little short time ago, and everybody thinks they're going to really be pretty bad this year.
There's predictions they're going to lose. They're going to be last in the division.
Yes,
and this is the worst division in baseball. I mean,
it is. Yes.
You know, but Detroit's got a great team. They got great pitching, and they added on it. And Cleveland's been really good.
Yep.
And they got the White Sox, so they might have some cushion. So
yeah, the White Sox. You said they were picked to lose already. They're out of the mix for the World Series. Where did you see that?
On Twitter, or X, I guess is the word.
I'm never going to stop calling it Twitter. Yeah. It's a better name. X is a bad name.
X is a bad name. I'd have to agree with that.
It's too generic.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, no. Today's show brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Is there anything important you wanted to talk about? Because I am not going to shut up about baseball now that it came
Any
up.
cool?
No, nothing's more important than baseball. It's they're talking about it on Signal. That's how important it is.
Well, the amazing thing is, it was not only the fact that I just loved the Twins because the first athletic event at the pro level I ever went to was a Twins game, thanks to Mr. Anderson. and I just loved it. I still love it to this day. And it's also the sign that maybe the snow will melt some years in Minnesota because the Twin. I have seen it snowing big time on opening day at Met Stadium back in the day. Even, well, it's only March. Well, the season used to open the first week in April back then, and it would still snow in the first week or second week of April back then. And I will always be a huge Twins fan. There's no question about that.
This is the 2-week run. Baseball's going. We got the Masters coming up in a week. We got NCAAs coming down to Sweet 16 this weekend. I mean, this is the wonderful time of the year.
Do you have any Minnesota teams involved in any of it other than the Twins opener?
Let's see. Are there any Minnesota golfers that are going to be competing in Augusta?
I don't know.
I think there's that one young kid, and then there's a guy from North Dakota that's been playing well.
Okay.
But other than that, no, I don't think so, and definitely not in basketball. So
what's that show called we watch, Catherine?
Full Swing.
Full Swing. Have you seen the show Full Swing?
Oh,
yeah, I started to watch that after you guys talked about it.
That's good.
My God, is that a good show?
Mm-hmm.
They showed Rory McIlroy when he kind of fell off the top of the heap.
I know. I still can't believe he was just such a force. I thought he was maybe the next Tiger Woods, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one last week. He did.
Yeah, but it was like 8 years or something like that between majors. It's a long time for someone, especially in his age group. I mean, he's getting to be the old guy in his 30s.
He has a lot of women problems, apparently.
Oh, did he?
No.
That complicates his life a wee bit.
Oh, I did not know. They did not touch on that on the show.
Yep.
What if they're going to show Timmy on there?
Tim Herron?
Tim Herron, yeah. I hope they do. Minnesota's own.
What's Tim doing now? Like
I
I
don't
know if he's even playing the senior tour now.
I just love the guy. He's another one. His sister, Alyssa Herron. Oh my God, she used to just torture me with the thing. Well, here, let me tell you, how many guys do a morning talk show, and a guy on the pro tour says, "Hey, I'm coming to town because we were on vacation in Florida." He goes, "I'm coming to town to play in the whatever the hell the event was." He said, I'm gonna have my sister Alyssa, because I love her. She's wonderful. But he said, we'll leave a identification situation at the gate, and you can just walk along on the course with me. I said, I get to walk at a PGA event on the course during the thing? He goes, yeah, absolutely, no question.
Cool.
So I get there. They hand me the package to put the thing over my neck and all the rest of it. The little badge that shows that I'm actually allowed to be there. And as I walk, I put the thing on and whatever, and I'm all excited, and I'm walking up, and I walk up to the gate to walk onto the course to meet with Tim Herron. And he goes, "What, do you think that's funny?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "So that picture's supposed to be you?" I turn around, it's a picture of Alyssa. Thanks, Alyssa. I really appreciate it. But thank God Tim was right there. So Tim had him get me on the course. To walk along with a professional golfer, you realize if you think you're a good golfer, you need to walk alongside a good golfer, because we are not that good. I'll tell you that. My God, these people are so talented.
When I went to Augusta or St. Andrews, I watched Watson and this young guy from Scotland, and watched every hole, just followed him, for every shot, just walking around the course. Yeah, it was a tremendous experience just to see guys like that, just the way they look at hitting balls and what they go through. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm glad Tim didn't make you carry the bag, though.
No, he did not make me carry the bag. Thank God. I don't think they wanted me anywhere near that situation, to tell you the truth. But are you ever going to pick up a golf club again?
I did one. I played in one 3-club tournament last year, so I have done at least. I dipped my toe in.
You got to get back at it, man. I'm taking a lot of lessons down here from a guy named George, really good teacher. So I'm trying to get back, because it's kind of embarrassing when your wife kicks your ass every time you play.
Yeah, well,
Catherine's a good golfer. You are.
I understand.
I have my days.
I have my days.
What I hate about my golfing is like, par. Well, no, I don't do that. Par, bogey, par, 8. I usually get a 7 or an 8 after a par. It's so annoying.
Yeah. My problem was always every once in a while getting like a 10 or a 12 and having
I
no idea how I got there. It's like, what did I just do for the last 2 minutes?
Well, you're not allowed to go 10 or 12. You got to pick up.
Yeah, after a certain point, don't you like rank out or whatever?
Yeah, just X.
You just rank out.
I don't know. Isn't that how it works?
Well, there's if you have a handicap, you are supposed to have a maximum that you can take on a hole. And then you just exit and then you add that up. So,
but if you're playing a tournament, you got to take every stroke, so you don't get a choice. So,
tournaments, that's why I don't like tournaments.
But I will tell you what, as a Minnesotan, this is the kind of show that I want to do every year because the golf season is upon us. The Twins' first game is today. I mean, this day, if you're a Minnesotan, is very, very special because, man, winters can kick your ass for several months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're back on the golf course. You're back sitting in the stands watching the Twins play. It's a wonderful time of the year to be a Minnesotan. There's no question about that.
The Masters has an app now.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Is it like live action or just the scores updated all the time?
I think they have clips, and I want to think that I think they have like 17 or a couple of holes. They have stationary cameras, I think.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Now, if
you can see the whole course now, which is amazing. Because remember the days when they'd only show you the back nine, and and you had to wear prayer clothes to watch the show. No commercials.
No, that's about it. There's no question about that. It's so fun to be in the position I'm in today and be, to have our grandchildren over and our son and his wife are hanging out and Alex is coming in, and to still be this fired up and excited about the Twins season opening. It's one of the things I will always love about life is when the Twins play that first game, and the first home game is this weekend, correct?
Yeah. It's a good time. So Andy, have they gone down and got croissants yet?
Next weekend, I should say.
Not yet.
No, they're not the croissant family. They're the gluten-free family. It's Alex's family. That's the croissant family.
Are you going with the Louis?
Yeah, I knew Alex. I knew those kids were, but I had my quick run down there on Sunday.
Well, Ethan would for sure like one.
I'm sure he would, yes.
He would gobble it right down.
He can eat that kid. Solid as a rock. 3'7", or is that what he is?
41 inches would be 3'5".
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, 3'3".
3'5".
What is he? 47 inches?
41.
Do you want me to go?
41. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I thought he was taller than that. He seems like he's taller than. Plus, he's muscular, and I don't see how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is solid. I think his bones are filled with cement.
Yeah, they certainly feel like it. I was pushing him around on the stroller.
Yeah.
And then we got home, and he got out of the stroller because he wanted to walk the rest of the way. And as soon as he got out, I started pushing the stroller without adjusting for the lack of him in it. And I almost fell over because I was like, wow, this thing weighs nothing without him in it.
That is true.
Yeah.
He's a little big for that stroller, though, isn't he, Andy?
He is extremely big.
I don't think he'll fit in it next year.
No, next year there's no way he's going to fit in that thing.
You'll have to get an adult size.
Well, I mean, next year he's going to be 4 years old. He can walk most.
He can walk.
Yeah.
Honest to God, it is unbelievable.
Well, he prefers walking. The problem is he's also 3, and 3-year-olds are dumb, and there's cars everywhere.
Right.
3-year-olds are dumb.
They are dumb.
That's true.
All right. We got to take our final break, come back. It'll give us about 5-6 minutes to talk about whatever Mike wants to talk about. Because now that I brought this, by the way, will be your show to tune to or listen to if you love Twins baseball, because nobody covers Twins baseball like this show. Always has, always will. The KQ Morning Show was the place to listen to. Absolutely. And now it's this show. And I will never get over my love of the Twins. I love them, and I don't know. Maybe I should be buried in a Twins uniform. What do you think, Catherine?
Yeah.
We'll be right back right after this.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
South Dakota, one of the most business-friendly states in the country, and there's no better place to settle down and take advantage of those incentives than in Sioux Falls. As the state's largest city with a metro population over 290,000, Sioux Falls has low business costs with a high quality of life. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. Sioux Falls, South Dakota was recently ranked the #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes, the #2 best state business tax climate by the Tax Foundation, and the #5 top state for e-commerce by Nexus. As one of the Midwest's fastest growing cities, Sioux Falls has a robust growing job market. No matter where you're at in your career, we have an opportunity waiting for you. Our city's tax-friendly climate and strong workforce don't go unrecognized. Forbes named Sioux Falls one of the top small cities for business and careers each of the last 15 years. In 2020, Sioux Falls also ranked as the #4 best city for young professionals. How does South Dakota stack up against other states? We rank second in the nation for the lowest cost of doing business, the most business-friendly state, and the best business tax climate. And as South Dakota's biggest city, Sioux Falls is at the center of these benefits. Now is the perfect time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Visit SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. Today's show brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Michael Bryant with us. By the way, Andy, is there a number? Because I'm already getting some people asking me on X, on Twitter, how they can call in and make comments for the Twin season because they're already fired up about the Twin season like I am.
Yeah, the easiest way to contact us, I would say, would be to go to chatsy.com, Bernard Show. Or you can text us at 612-361-6622. If you have the new app, there's a little chat bubble thing up top there. Click that, and that should, I hope, be the correct number. I'm going to verify that. But
good.
You can click that, and you can text us.
Like I said, I'm already getting some people on X asking me. That's one thing I love about having the watch now, because when people text me, it shows up on my watch.
You get it right there.
I like that. It's a wonderful thing. So
let's see, is the Tom Bernard podcast still not indexed? Yeah, people are having a hard time getting it on Android. And the reason for that is because Android takes a while for apps to show up on their search.
Oh.
Like if you search Tom Bernard podcast on their store, it is on the store. You just can't find it via search. So if you're still looking for it, I did post a link to it on Facebook.
Good.
And you can just click that link on your phone. It'll take you to the Google Play listing, and you can download it that way.
Magnificent.
So I went to the the Acme book signing last night. How was just it was filled with local comedians. It was what was that, Catherine?
I said fun.
Yeah, about anybody that was anybody in Minnesota comedy was there last night. It was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chad and Cy came out in like Oriental clothes. On Lewis and their experience with Lewis. Cy read a letter as a survivor of have gone through Lewis's horror dungeon. And it was really good. It was very, very well done.
That's wonderful. Because Minneapolis, St. Paul, wonderful cities for comedy too. I mean, that's the other thing. Comedy does very, very well in Minnesota. Many comedians have told me their favorite audiences are Minnesota audiences. Mm-hmm. They love our audiences. So.
Well, Acme has such a smart audience.
Yes, they do.
Filled with people. And I see a lot of people. I see there a lot that were there last night. And it was really good. The show pretty much was aimed at people who know a lot of background. Like, I think if somebody new had gone last night, they'd be like, what the hell is this all about? But it was really, really well. And Lewis is really a humble guy.
He is. Yeah, he is. So. Yep. So the book signing, the book's doing very well from what I understand.
Yep. Well, his first book was great, and
Yes.
you know, just to see the second one, I got like 2 chapters in because I thought it started at 7 last night, so I got there and it didn't start till 8, so I had an hour to read for a little.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So
No, it is a great book, and Patrick was on last week. We had a really nice time talking to him about that. I thought anyway. Catherine, what do you think?
Absolutely.
No question. All right, any closing words, Mr. Bryant?
I just go Red Sox.
And take the Twins with you. Is that the
Let's not
idea?
jump the gun.
Oh, someone just sent test text. Well, your test worked, so there you go.
Oh,
You're good. I'm glad
I
to hear
guess
that.
the app is correct after all.
Because that's the one thing in twin season, we're going to get a hell of a lot more listeners, viewers, texters, and all the rest of it. Because I guess nobody raves about the Twins like I do, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I will always love my Minnesota Twins. They won 2 World Series right at the beginning of my career at KQ, and I'll never, ever forget that. It's wonderful. So, Michael, we will see you soon.
Okay, take care. Thank you. See you, Catherine. Enjoy the grandkids.
Remember, no show next week.
Yeah, next week.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody's moving.
no show.
Mhm.
Everybody's the whole family's in town, and it's a family time, and nobody's going to be there to handle anything. But
That's correct.
all right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a picture in my noggin reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the same reminds me how you talking.